Hey,
It's
hey.
Dee.
And it's Chelsea.
And this is Postpartum Uncut.
Mm-hmm.
This is your safe space to talk about all things postpartum, motherhood, and all the cute, not cute, and all that stuff that happened after you have a baby.
It's a lot that goes on.
It's a lot.
So for today, we want to talk about a very hot topic. So as you guys know, I'm in the gym a lot. So there's a lot of chatter that goes on. There's a lot of conversations that go on. Very interesting conversations too. And I think one of the interesting topics that goes on is the dad bod.
Oh, dead.
Have you heard of that?
Up until the conversation we had, like, I feel like a dad bod was always like the beer belly, right? It's like I gained a little weight type of, right?
I mean, that's typically what I associate hearing that with based off of the stories that I've been told. Like, yeah, that's what a dad bod is.
So they're talking about the dad bods in the gym?
Yeah, oh yeah. Because people are dads in the gym too. They're trying to work stuff off.
Okay.
Or there's people that's in shape that's talking about other people in the gym. Like, look at Buddy. Like, it's so you hear it a lot when you're just listening to people's conversations in the gym.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you really do.
I can see myself being one of the people listen to.
Oh. So I guess I want to talk about today what really constitutes the appropriate use of dad bod in your opinion.
How did you hear it used originally?
I originally heard it used like basically a dad that's let himself go because maybe he doesn't have time to take care of himself in the gym, and like maybe he was working out before, maybe he wasn't. But whatever the situation is, basically the baby has taken a hold of your life. As we know, it's not your schedule anymore. It's the baby's. So maybe your diet has slipped. Your activity level has slipped. Your stress, because stress can cause all sort of hormonal imbalances even for men. So there's just a lot of different things that can cause a little pooch, a little extra weight here, extra weight there.
Okay, but I'm not trying to be insensitive. Dads go through things, right? But my question is, okay, like hear me out. What physically keeps you in a place that you...
Wait, you as in the dad?
A man. Okay. I'm talking to men.
Okay.
This is a man question. Because what are you physically going through? That because we're here because the baby was in here. You know what I'm saying? My question is, how did we get here? Like, because I think I'm not the right person to talk to either. Like, you be in the gym, you're the fitness lady. I'm the wellness lady. That ain't no different to me. Because what were you doing? Right? Like, I understand being stressed. I understand being overwhelmed. I understand not having time. These are all things that are manageable, though. Right?
They can be.
They are. They are. I get if it, like we talked about in the last episode, things are not happening the way I want them to, when I want them to. If it don't, like, that don't count to me, because that's still you resisting change. So, like, I'm not the person, I do this with everybody that I help. I'm not the person for the excuses, right? Because, you know, I got a lot of my friends on the walking pad. There's no excuse. You can still get your steps in. Well, I have this going on. And I have single mom friends that have a whole full-time job and have daycare and traveling and older children. Like, I have people with excuses that I feel like they make sense, but they still find a way. Whether that's me supporting them and saying, hey, I can pull up on you at lunchtime. You trying to take a walk real quick, girl? Like, it takes help. You can ask for help.
So I guess with everything that you're saying, because I do agree with what you're saying. No excuses. But walking not gonna help the gut specifically. Certain things, like if you've gotten big, you need weights to trim that off. So there's certain type of exercises that do require you to be at a specific place for that, which also could affect your schedule. Not making excuses for anybody, but I'm just saying at what point do you not get grace and you're like, you should be at the gym now?
See, that's my thing. That's my thing with grace is like, but I'm doing something.
Mm-hmm.
So like walking was all I did for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Walking can help the pooch because it's at least moving the car. So like when we talk about like resolving problems, I use a highway
Mm-hmm.
as an example.
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to do something,
Mm-hmm.
get somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
you can go on foot, you can go on a bike,
Mm-hmm.
you can go in a sports car. The answer to losing weight is a proper diet. And come in with the come on nurse fitness lady.
Mm-hmm.
But the proper answer to losing weight is nutrition, activity,
Mm-hmm.
stress level management.
Mm-hmm.
Help me out. Is there anything else I'm missing? I feel like those are the big three.
Those are the big ones.
So like
sleep.
So having managed, like being able to manage your life is the sports car.
Mm-hmm.
Now, walking was all I could do for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you have a financial restraint, I walked around the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about me going down to one income household. So like, yeah, I walked around our neighborhood a lot with my son. Getting outside was part of my postpartum anyway. So that's how I managed my stress. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then eating healthy is something you can do as a family. I'm in charge of cooking, so we all eating healthy if I'm cooking. That's how that works. Like to me, at some point you have to be real with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
and say, how do I get here and how fast do I want to get here and what am I willing to invest? Because it's really just, are you willing? I just feel like, to me, dad bod is always used with like the worst example of like
that's what I was saying.
The guttiest of guts.
That's why I made that comment. Like walking is not going to completely mix the gut.
Right. I feel like that's getting on a bicycle and trying to get this show on the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a combination of things.
If you weren't doing it before, I say progress over perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like, if you're not taking action at all, is where I'm kind of like, okay, well then we can't complain about where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
You always have the power to change your situation. So I hate when people become defeated by circumstance, because just like feeling, circumstances are fleeting. You're not going to be in that circumstance for long. And we also have to think about, we talked about utilizing our village before we started filming. We were like, actually utilizing your village, right? You got to be willing to ask for help too. Like, and as a person listening, if you're going to be you stop the excuses. You can't tell everybody stop the excuses and not be willing to help them, because then that just makes you a jerk, right? Like, I say this to everybody. You trying to go on a walk?
Mm-hmm.
You trying to go on a walk? Trying to go on a walk? Now, I ain't going to drink with you, but we can go work out. Like, you gotta help people get there sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I can't support you in the way that I used to. So I'm going to support you on your health goals. Or I'm going to support you in, let me find you a massage therapist. Let me find you somebody that can help you. Let me find you a personal trainer. Because we know people. We know really dope people that do really dope things. And fitness is not important to Americans the way that it should be.
Yes, it's really not.
And the reasons we feel the way we feel about fitness are because of who we are, the quality of life we're trying to live, and just realizing, like, health scare wise, like, had we not been taking care of ourselves, we probably would be in worse situations. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I just feel like, at what point are we going to stop giving grace? I know why. Because let's look back at all the postpartum episodes, right? Like, we started this in October. He was 6 months old then, I think. I was 6 months postpartum when we started filming. I look completely different now. We know why I look the way I look. And even then, I was walking. Like, I needed to move my body. I needed that. But like, okay, at what point?
I do think the topic or the term dad bod is real. Because I do think that a lot of people are pressed. A lot of people don't know how to ask for help. A lot of people do let themselves go because it's hard to integrate being a new dad, especially if you're a new dad. It's hard to integrate being a new dad into that. It really is. Or even if you are a dad of like 2 or 3. Okay, so now you got the school drop off, get the kid ready in the morning, then you got the infant at home. Like, it is a transition, even no matter what stage you're in. And let's not single dads. maybe you don't have the wife or the partner in the house to do X, Y, Z, blase. So you work a 10-hour shift 5 days a week. So it can be kind of hard. Maybe you don't have babysitting, privileges on the weekend. But like she said, doing something will at least be like, okay, you do have a dad bod. You're trying to say it's a dad bod, but you're doing something to try to enhance it and get back to where you're supposed to be. The sedentary lifestyle is like, you don't really have room to use that phrase if you're not trying to do better with your life, is how I feel.
I think it's also more attractive too. Mm-hmm. Like, we can accept the dad bod because we see that you're trying to provide for your family. Because then, I think that's probably another thing is like, some of the dad bods I've seen, they're not the most present fathers. Like, and I don't mean just being in the room. I mean like present, like
making an impact.
Because I can see, like, life. If you're a super present parent, you're exhausted, you're overstimulated. Like, I get that.
Yeah,
I really do. I don't want to sound like I don't have grace for that, but I'm also like,
that sounds good to hear you say that, because at first you were like, wait a minute,
because I'm just trying to figure out how we got here. Like, I guess the other problem I have here is I don't see the pressure to lose weight on the dads.
It's not
as much as I see it on the moms. And I'm trying to figure out
in
why.
general, it's not. Some men do have pressure on themselves, but in general, like, society doesn't put the pressure on the man like the woman.
I'm not saying nobody. Let's not get defensive here. I'm saying that in general, the topic of discussion with women is snap back and snatched and da-da-da-da. And it's like, no, like, don't get me wrong. I love the transformation that my body is having right now, but y'all also see me on social media rubbing on my fupa because I got here with this. This did something. So this is what I'm giving the most grace, and I'm like sending it good juju, but like, I think that's why it bothers me, because I feel like people are really quick to talk about a woman's physical appearance. Like, we didn't just spit out a whole human.
I think the biggest issue I have with the term dad bod is when you looked that way prior to having a child, and then you have the child and now it's a dad bod. No, that's your bod. Like, that's your body. Accept it. It's cool. Like, no knocky. That's how you looked before, and you're happy with how you look. That's fine, but I don't think we should pawn this off on the kid.
That's everybody
when you do that.
That's everybody, because at the end of the day, we can say, yeah, I had my son, and yeah, I had this and that, and like, this excludes any like health risk or consequences of health issues. Because
no medical get it. We're not talking about
that. First of all, shout out. Did you know April is C-section awareness month?
No, I didn't know that.
Shout out to the C-section mamas. Damn. But like, yeah, y'all can't move for a whole 2 months? 2 months, you're not allowed.
You can't even drive.
You can't drive. You
can't walk up a flight of steps.
Make sure your dressings are all clean and good, and you're keeping yourself out of harm's way for infection. There's a lot to manage.
You can't walk up a flight of steps.
Yeah, you can't really do anything.
You can't exercise for sure. No.
So like, yeah, there's a lot of my mom friends that, like, even if they wanted to, that their fitness journey got stalled. And I just feel like I'm like that with anybody. When we get to a place of self-loathing, when we get to a place, because most of the time when I hear people complain about their weight, they need an entire lifestyle change. And so, like, my question still stands. How did we get here? My question still stands. Are you overworked? Are we overstimulated? Because, like, at some point, what's our favorite word, Chelsea?
What is it?
Accountability.
Oh, yeah, accountability. Absolutely.
At some point, we have to take accountability for how we got here. And it's like, that's not a beat yourself up moment. Like, I don't do this and I'm so lazy and da-da-da. It's not that. It's just, let's call it what it is. Let's figure out where we're at. I said this in class too. Look in the mirror. This is where we're at. Be accepting of where you're at and decide how you want to move forward. I guess because to me, it just feels like as simple as getting up and starting, which is hard.
Yes, it is hard for
mentally.
Some people.
It's hard. Once you get out of that and you just shut that voice off, it literally, because I wouldn't say postpartum depression was about to take over, but we were definitely in the middle of like, we're in the house a lot. I'm in the house a lot. I was about to have a moment where I got taken over into a dark place. And I said, girl, you ain't been outside in 3 days. Mm-hmm. Go outside. And then I'm like, yeah, he needs to touch grass. He got an attitude too. And the minute we both stepped outside, it was a reset. So for me, it was just as simple as seeing that change and saying, oh no, this is a priority. And that's how we started walking every day. And then comes the, hey, y'all see my ass and my leg is now. Like, then it comes with it. So it's as simple as starting. And that sounds easier said than done. I don't want to sound insensitive, but I'm also kind of like, at what point, don't put that on that baby. That baby don't cook. That baby does not cook dinner. That baby does not make any of the decisions in the household. That baby wakes up, cries, and does what babies do. So, like, the same way, I just felt like you figured it out. I use her as my model all the time. Chelsea figured it out.
And there's so much in-home stuff, too, that you can do. Like crunches, like ab work, air squats. Like, there's just so much that you can do at home. I know it's hard to try to carve out consistent time to do it, but it's doable. Even if you just spend 20 minutes in the morning or like when you get home, just doing something, it's a start. It really is a start. You'll see improvement, like she said, in your body. And you're just gonna wake up like.
It starts in your mood though too. Like just starting something, your mood is instantly boosted, and you just feel good about yourself. And like that, I don't like that feeling going away either. So for me, it's just as simple as I know how I want to feel. Period.
Yep. All right, guys. So of course we just had our debate discussion about dad bods. Now it's not just about the dads, moms. We have to hold ourselves accountable too. And so it's not really a big thing you hear about like mom bods, but this is what we're gonna talk about
because
today.
Ain't nobody stupid enough to say that to nobody.
I'm just saying it's not even like a hashtag like dad bods.
We know what you mean.
So with that being said, because I see the same thing with women, you know, and this is just an example. We're excluding medical conditions, all of the jazz. Like a woman will have a child that's 4 years old and say this is baby fat.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, at what point, and this is a person that's not actively trying to be in the gym, work out, This is just somebody who's very sedentary and can do something.
Right.
So at this point, I guess I just want to know, at what point do we as moms have to take accountability for our weight, our appearance, our entire physique, like our look? At what point do we have to take accountability? And it's not on the kid and that we had a child anymore. This is just how we've accepted how we look. Like, what's the cutoff? Like, at what point is that a thing?
I'm curious to know what other women say too, but like for me, when you said appearance, because it's not really weight with some of us, right? Like we could give two shits how y'all feel about our weight sometimes, especially depending on what we're going through. But appearance is interesting because it's like you want to, when you fresh out of the hospital, it's like you want to feel pretty so bad. You want to feel pretty.
I'm gonna get my nails done.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is she's gonna love that I brought this up. So I have a friend that was really adamant about getting her hair done. Okay, Black women, we already know we just want some braids. Okay, all she wanted was some braids because it's like, you know how I felt about when getting my eyebrows done. It was like, that's one less thing I have to do in the morning. And I'm cute. It's like a wig too. Like when people get to wake up and just be cute, I envy that so much. So she was really like, I just want to get my hair done. And she got shamed by her mom. She real old school. Her mom's a little older. So her mom was just kind of like, your priorities are messed up. And I'm like, why she do you like that? You can't be cute. You just had a baby. Like, emergency C-section was, a single mom. She deserves a hair appointment, in my opinion. Like, she's been doing such a good job by herself.
Mm-hmm.
So I just felt like that was very insensitive
Mm-hmm.
to like, cause what do you mean? Her priorities are correct. That's why she wants a hair appointment, because she didn't get her hair done yet. She took care of her baby. But I felt for that, because I was like, sometimes appearance gets sacrificed for the sake of getting the baby and the kids and the dad, getting everyone out the damn door.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the moment I was telling you at church, that's how I felt. I felt like I was sacrificing my appearance because I was having that kind of morning. It was overwhelming, and I just threw something on. Now, granted, everyone was like, "Oh no, you cute." Da, 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 da. That's fine, but I want to feel pretty.
And do you know what it took for me to get to
Did you
this
know what
point?
meltdown just happened? Yeah. So I was like, "That's cute. I'm glad everybody's like complimenting me, and that's great." But I do not feel like when I used to be like, I did not feel delicious. I didn't feel mamalicious at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so that's like the appearance part is hard, because I have to take that moment with my partner and say, I need you to do this. I packed the diaper bag. I did this, but I need you to do this because I really want to do my hair real quick. It's as simple as asking for help sometimes, and it may not be in the way you like. It may be something silly or small, but sometimes you need to take advantage of those moments.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't stress that enough in any scenario in motherhood, but specifically with the parents, is like, dad is at home. I can do my hair. I can do my hair. I have help. I have a partner. I can do my hair. Sometimes we just cut the corner because who got time to worry about that? I just made 5 bottles, packed a snack.
Mm-hmm.
And
then you dare somebody to say something to you. Don't you see this kid on my arm? Like, you dare.
Yes.
You dare somebody.
And so it's like, that's hard.
Yeah.
At what point do you decide, like, nah, for me, I got tired of not feeling cute.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, it's about how I want to feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I just know that I don't want to feel that way no more. So, like, transitioning my wardrobe to boy mom friendly, like, I'm definitely about to be a sneakerhead now. Never thought that was going to happen in my life. But I have to wear tennis shoes now. I like leggings and yoga pants because it's easy. So, like, making my wardrobe work for me in that way,
Mm-hmm.
like, you just have to find a way to make it work for you instead of trying to change yourself to work for that. And I think that might be the answer to what we were talking about earlier.
And I think too, that's a stress thing. Like, if you are taking time to do those things for yourself, you're going to be less stressed.
That too,
which affects your hormones and like chemical imbalances in your body. So if you're not as stressed,
yeah,
you're probably going to feel better about yourself. And those things too, like getting your hair done, getting your nails done, those are all like ways to decompress, relax, take a load off.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can schedule those things into like your lifestyle, highly recommend it. It's your you time to actually be an adult, not be around some kids, hopefully, and kind of woosah.
But learning from you, even if I got to, I'm gonna do it. if I need to figure it out. Now, granted, those are times that I feel like you need to go out of your way to be by yourself if you can.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, go to a nail salon that's close to your home girl instead. Like, if that means you got to drive a little further, but you got a babysitter, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You have to give and take a little bit. Maybe getting up at 5 a.m. and walking on your walking pad isn't what you want to do, but it's the only way it gets done. Yep. We do everything else that way. Mm-hmm. Moms literally, like, I'm just going to get it done. I'm just going to get it done. We do that with everything else. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to taking care of ourselves, we like, oh, that can wait. That's not a priority. We tell the world it's not a priority, and that's why they don't think it is one. Mm-hmm. So we have to unlearn some of these things. My favorite thing is unlearning. Yep. Unlearn some of these things. Taking care of ourselves is necessary to being a good mom, because think about the times when your mom didn't take care of herself.
You feel that.
And how that affected you.
You feel that.
And if you don't think your kids can't notice that now, our kids are not dumb.
You can't pour into other people's cups when your cup is empty.
You can't, and that's just the truth.
It really is. You get snappy. You don't want to be around people.
And that's when I feel like, you know how they be like, some days I rock motherhood and other days it rocks me. Mm-hmm. You know what? You got to be okay with some of them days rocking you and still get it done. So like, yeah, for me, it's just you again leaning into change. Maybe the mom version of you wears her hair differently. Maybe the mom version of you dresses differently. You got to become a person you have never been before. So, one, give yourself some grace. But when you're done giving yourself, like, hey, this is what I could do when I could do it, once we get there, like, okay, now what do I have the ability to change? How can I elevate? That moment you had in last episode, you were like, I decided I needed more for myself. I deserve more. It starts up here, y'all. It starts up here.
So with that being said, because you went a lot
On
into
a tangent.
detail.
Okay.
Well, no, you went into a lot into detail about
Mm-hmm.
the appearance, weight wise. When is grace not really a thing anymore?
I think it would be wise to start moving your body anyway. If you had a baby,
Mm-hmm.
you have conditioning to do.
Mm-hmm.
You have recovery to do. Physical therapy would be a great idea. A personal trainer would be a great idea. A yoga class would be a great idea. Something that goes towards your healing, to me, is necessary. So I feel like 6 months, you should be starting something. Like for me, it was walking. So it's as simple as going outside once a day. I didn't time it at first. I just did it. Once we got on like a groove, I found a path. I made a path. Then once we started following a path, I realized, oh, I'm hitting a mile a day. I can do a mile a day. Mm-hmm. So now that's like the prerequisite. Like, you ain't going inside until you do a mile, baby. Even if it's 0.87, you better find another way to loop around the block real quick.
Better run it back and then go forward again.
Not even kidding. Like that, it just, you have to start somewhere. Mm-hmm. Is why I feel like I just feel like, how do we get here, and why can't you start? Mm-hmm. What is keeping you from starting?
I think that's the biggest thing. Identify your barriers. Is it that you're just being lazy? Because sometimes being lazy is just a barrier.
Yeah, you could just be tired.
You could be, like I said, you could be tired. It could be a money constraint. Like, a personal trainer does sound nice, but maybe you can't afford that right now. You know, maybe it is a time thing. Like, okay, I work 2 jobs and then I'm in school. When am I going to make time to do this? So there's definitely a lot of barriers that can prevent you from getting from point A to point B. But there's usually always some sort of workaround, even if it's like you walking once a week. It's better than nothing.
When I say progress over perfection, yes. That's why I don't feel like I sounded as harsh in the beginning, because I feel like anything counts. Like, just do something. Mm-hmm. Get up and twerk for 5 minutes. Something.
No, seriously.
I'm dead ass. Like, that is, I truly believe that. I truly believe that. So what's your answer then on longevity? At what point do we stop giving do we start taking accountability and we've given ourselves the grace? What's your answer?
I do think a 6 month is a cool, tangible thing. I think my biggest thing is, don't complain. If you're not where you want to be, if you haven't at least tried to get the ball rolling.
Oh, that's my pet peeve.
With getting anything started. You know, like I hear a lot of people, like, they'll grab their son, like, I had this baby 3 years ago and look at what they did to me. But they're not working out. They're not walking. They're not...
That baby did what it did and it was done. That's the 3 years in the game.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, you know, like I said, this is excluding certain conditions and all that. But it's like, if you're able to get up and moving, do it. And it's not even just about losing baby weight. It's just about you being healthy for yourself.
Amen.
You have a legacy now. So you have to be healthy for yourself so that you can be around to watch little Timmy graduate from college, you know?
Timmy.
So it's just necessary. It's just, be active. It's not going to hurt you to be active. It's going to help you in the long run.
Which welcomes me to my tangent. So with that being said, I do want to let everyone who is currently pregnant or fresh into postpartum, like I just had a baby in the last 6 months, to the followers that are in those situations, I cannot stress the importance of a fitness routine during pregnancy. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, if you're not already in the gym, you're going to have to get creative. I highly recommend a yoga ball. I highly recommend taking like short little walks. You don't want to do anything that is above your normal fitness level activity. But I can't stress the importance of like strength training, especially on your lower half, pelvic floor exercises, stretching. When I say I truly believe that makes birth easier, I think it makes postpartum recovery a lot easier. We talked about epidural things in the last episode too, and how I'm kind of pissed off at my epidural. Like, the conditioning, the amount of stretching and healing that I had to do to get rid of my back pain. So for those of you that still have back pain from your epidural, it was a very extensive stretching routine. It requires you to be very in tune with your body. So when I say, like, think about how you prepare for your first or next baby, it's not just eating healthy. You have to be active enough to condition your body to give birth and then like sustain itself and heal afterwards. You're going to feel that. You gain what, like 30 pounds when you have a baby usually? Mm-hmm. Typically it's around 20 to 30 pounds. That's a whole extra set of weight. So you have to condition your legs, your knees, your hips, and like your back. Lord Jesus, your back. Training for pregnancy is so important. low key. But if you're in search of a personal trainer, please feel free to reach out to us because we have people. Do you want to shout out your gym?
Oh yeah. So Eric Bell, Almighty Vegan, I think. Is it Almighty Vegan?
Yeah, that's pretty right.
Yeah. On Instagram. So definitely DM him, message him if you're looking for a personal trainer. Works well with your schedule, very flexible.
I know that's right, flexible. And I love him because he is the accountability police. So when we're talking about get rid of the grace, no excuses, if you really try and get something done, that's your guy. Again,
he won't cut you any slack.
Another St. Louis local Black-owned business that we support.
For sure.
Okay, so that was a cute conversation. Yeah. I want to hear from y'all because I know it's a range of different types of moms and dads. I don't know if any dads follow us, but I know there's a few dads from high school that repost us a lot. I hope y'all watch this episode. I would love to know their opinions on this. So guys, chime in. When is it too late to have a dad bod? Like, when is that dad bod excuse worn out? Ladies, at what point do you think it's time to take accountability for like mom bods and appearance? Because I really like that we pointed that factor out. Sometimes it's not necessarily weight, it's just how we get out the house and what we decide to do.
And then going back to the dad real quick, not only like how do you, or what is, appropriate to say dad bod or not, do you qualify to use the term dad bod on yourself?
Are we talking to you?
Like, does it apply to you or not? So just want to hear all the commentary.
Yes, drop the comments on this one because I want to know. And then, like, old heads, I really want to know how this conversation is hitting y'all. Like, did y'all have expectations to like snap back? How did that work? Even if it was only 10 years ago, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, I don't even care. Like, what's the difference in the expectations on moms and bodies now? Educate me. We love spending time with you guys.
See y'all.
Bye.